goofing around with some throwing knives and with my bow and arrow, which I realized has a large crack right here, which I think means I'm not going to be able to use this bow anymore, which is a bit of a bummer. I've had this bow and arrow for like 2 to 3 years, and I actually didn't use it very much, but then I use it once in a while. And the reason I don't use it that much is because whenever I would use it, I would always lose some arrows. And when I got this bow, I only got 12 arrows. Today, I just got my last arrow stuck up in a palm tree. I did that one on purpose, but all the other arrows I've either lost because they just completely went underground because the grass is so tall here, or they just like broke in half, or the tip broke off when it hit a tree or something. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to get a new bow, maybe another recurve bow like this, maybe a compound bow, maybe some sort of fun thing like that. So sorry bow, but you're not gonna get to be used anymore. Bummer. And that bow was like a 54 inch, I think, and a 28 pound bow. So it's not like a crazy powerful bow, but it was decent. And these throwing knives I just got like a couple years ago on Amazon. I don't know why, I just like wanted to get some throwing knives. And when I first got them, I thought that you had to throw a knife from the handle, and I kept throwing them and I could never get it stuck into a tree or a piece of wood or any sort of target. And then I watched some YouTube videos, and then I realized you have to throw it from the blade, and since then they get stuck into whatever I throw it at a lot more often. I would like to, I'm gonna do something else in a second, but first I would like to talk about timing. How timing is everything. I think that sometimes you don't realize it, but like you don't realize how important timing is. Timing is just insanely important, especially in a lot of different sports. Sports like surfing, sports like skating. Timing, what I mean by timing is like at what moment you do a certain thing. So let's say like a bottom turn, like at the moment which you compress and then come up to do the turn, like milliseconds can make that much of a difference. Especially in things like skating, like if you're trying to ollie onto something like something that's higher and you ollie too early or you ollie too late. Timing is very important, and I think that there's no such thing as perfect timing. There's always space for improvement, but I think it's definitely a really good idea to like work on trying to have better timing on whatever it is which you're doing, because you can always improve. And yeah, timing can be stuff from how to like surfing and sports to like telling jokes and something. Like timing could be just like at the moment in which you tell a joke. Like if you tell the wrong joke at the wrong time, it's not that funny. Or stuff even like videos. Like right now, everyone's talking about Pokemon Go, so you make a video about Pokemon Go. You don't make a video about a video game which no one talks about and no one cares about, because that would be the wrong time to do that. So I have this slingshot right here. This is, it's like an aluminum slingshot with this cool little piece that sticks out for your arm, and it's actually pretty stable, and it came with this yellow strap which I've used a lot. I'm not a bow and arrow. This slingshot has pretty good aim. I think it's also because of this, because you can hold your hand a lot more stable, and I've used this quite a bit. It's pretty fun. And the other day this rubber band started to kind of like break, and it actually flew off and I broke a piece off, and then I just kind of like slid it back on to this other rubber band which I have. This rubber band actually came with the slingshot as like a backup rubber band, and this rubber band is actually a more powerful rubber band for a slingshot. So I'm going to install this, and I'm going to read the back, see what it says to do. Dip the band ends into approximately 1/8 of an inch ordinary rubbing alcohol, slip the bands, blah blah, do not shoot or pull backwards for 24 hours, allow the alcohol to dry. That sucks. After I put this on, I have to wait 24 hours. I better do it now so that I can test the slingshot out tomorrow. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off these rubber bands. They kind of just like slide off because they're so old and I've used them so much. Get these rubber bands. So this slingshot is definitely not the most compact. Definitely not the most compact. But it has pretty good aim and it's pretty solid, really light. So I like it quite a bit. So here's the old strap, very worn out. All the ends are actually almost like are falling apart. See, as you can see, the ends are just completely falling apart. So it's time to be replaced. So we're gonna place this thing aside. In the package, there's another package with this little, so I think what you do is after you place this onto your slingshot, you can rub the thing that's inside of here, it's like some sort of like wipe, on here, and it helps protect it to make it last long. And this rubber band feels a lot more sturdy, so the slingshot will definitely be probably more powerful now. So the first thing is to dip both ends of the slingshot rubber band into some rubbing alcohol. I just happen to have a cup of rubbing alcohol right here, like an inch. Okay, dipped it into the rubbing alcohol. Now we will slide this onto here, trying to not screw anything up. With the rubbing alcohol, it slides on very easy. Make sure it's even, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So I think I just have to wait 24 hours before I can use the slingshot because the rubbing alcohol has to dry. But I think this rubber band matches the slingshot actually quite a bit better than this one, so pretty stoked about it. So tomorrow we'll test this out, but until then, this will get put aside so that it can dry. So what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna head down to the beach and do a wild edible about a certain edible which I think a lot of people don't know is edible. So everyone knows that you can drink and eat coconuts. If there's a palm tree with coconuts on it, you can chop the coconut open and you can drink the milk or coconut water, whatever you like to call it. And then you can also eat the meat or the flesh, which is inside of the coconut. But a lot of people don't know that coconut trees actually have another wild edible on them. How do I say that? Like part of the tree. But the thing is you can only get this wild edible from what I know, from my knowledge, is from when the palm tree is a baby. So this wild edible in Spanish is called palmito. Palmito, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And in English, it's called almost like palm heart, or like palmito. I don't know, I usually just call it palmito. So it's really cool that there's another wild edible. But the thing about this wild edible is that if you take it from the palm tree will 100% die. So that's the problem, is people are always at the beach taking this palmito from baby palm trees. You can only get this from a baby palm tree and people are taking it, and then the palm tree dies, but a lot of people don't know that, so they're killing palm trees without knowing it, which is kind of a bummer and kind of sad because then those palm trees don't get to grow up and make coconuts. So we're gonna head down to the beach and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's go down to the beach and see what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so I came down to the beach and it is super windy. I have the wind guard on, so hopefully the wind isn't too bad. But I'm gonna show you guys a few baby palm trees, which people have actually killed because they took the palmito out of it, or you could call it palm heart. So check it out. Okay, so this is what the baby palm trees look like. See this one? See how this one looks like it's dying? That's because someone pulled the middle of the palm tree out. So when the palm tree is a baby, sort of like this, there's this little stem which comes out of the middle, like up to here, and if you pull that out, then you end up with the palmito. So I think this palm tree still has the palmito. See this middle leaf? If I were to pull this out, then there's like this stem which is completely white, and you can actually eat that. And that is the part that is wild, that you can eat. And this, you can only find that when they're a baby. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to kill this palm tree. People who don't know pull them out of these palm trees and then they end up killing them. So poor little palm trees are probably going to end up dying. So I do not suggest pulling the middle out of the baby palm trees because you're going to end up killing them. So yeah, that's a wrap for today. Hope you guys enjoyed that little wild edible. It may not be on every palm tree, but all the palm trees that I've seen, they have them. They have the little palmito when the palm tree is a baby. I suggest to only eat that part if you have to, and it's a matter of life and death survival. I'll see you guys tomorrow early in the morning. Remember to do more awesome stuff, and